You're not going to want to hear this, but in order for God to bless you and give you the new life that you want, you have to cut off the old. And here are 3 things that God is going to ask you to sacrifice in order to give you that new blessing that you've been praying for. From my own personal experience as a pastor and someone who's doing the MA in theology, these are things that I've had to sacrifice myself for God to bring me where I am right now. The first thing is control, which is annoying and which I know you're not going to like, because just like me, you like to be in control. You like to do things yourself. You like to be the one in control. You like to be the orchestrator. You like to be the person who can move the pieces. But in order for God to bless you, you have to give up control. The hardest thing I had to learn in my life is that in this journey with me and God, God is in the driver's seat and I will always be a passenger princess or prince, whichever one. In order for God to bless us, we have to give up a level of control. The reason, because if God left us to our own devices, if he left you to your own devices, you would not be able to get to the place on the cusp of that blessing. So in order for God to bless you, you have to give up your control. You have to give up, sacrifice that need you have inside you in order to control things. Because once you let go of that control, then God will take control. Imagine you and God are going on a drive. And God has the steering wheel and you're driving. I'm taking driving lessons, so I know how this feels. God's driving, he's looking around, he's observing, he's taking you. You don't really know the route that you're going, but God's driving, so he's got you. And then suddenly out of nowhere, you start messing with the wheel while God is driving. Imagine you're driving and someone's messing with the wheel. Where's that car gonna headed? Either in a tree or in a ditch. So in order for God to bless you, let go of the damn steering wheel. Let go and let God drive the damn car. Because if you try to interfere, that car is going to go in a ditch, which is possibly where you are right now in your life. Secondly, God needs you, and he needed me to sacrifice my desire to be liked and appreciated and viewed well in the eyes of other people. Before I started this page, I grew it to 44,000 within 2.5 months. And I procrastinated so long to start it. Why? What are people going to think? People are going to think I'm weird. I'm going to do all this stuff. It's going to be cringe. What are people going to say? What if I don't say something right? People are going to come after me. They have, even though given biblical evidence. But anyway, that's another story. What's going to happen? But in order for God to bless you, you have to give up the want to be liked by other people. Look at Noah. God wanted to save Noah and his family. But imagine Noah was like, God, everyone's making fun of me because I'm building an ark and no one knows what rain is. I can't do this. No. Noah had to get used to other people not liking him. And here's the reality that you need to face. If God is going to bless you, other people will automatically not like you. If God is going to bless you, other people will not like you because for them, God's blessing in your life is a threat. And because it's a threat, they're going to treat you like a threat. And God can't bless you if you rather be liked than be a threat because of the blessing that he gives you. Last, but actually the most important, I had to give up my fear of failing, but also, it's going to sound weird, my fear of succeeding as well. They're going to be like fear of failing and succeeding. Yeah, I was so scared of failing because I attached my self-identity to my achievements. But at the same time, I was so scared of actually succeeding because what if it does turn out well? What if God actually blesses me? How am I going to handle that? How am I going to handle that success? How am I going to handle that money? How am I going to handle that recognition? How am I going to handle that status? And I was so scared of not being able to handle failure and success at the same time that I just didn't do anything. That I procrastinated, that I was lazy. I kept putting it off and off and off. And if I continue to do that, I wouldn't be here where I am now. I wouldn't be a pastor. I wouldn't be doing my MA. I wouldn't be, teaching you and having this platform if I was afraid of failing and afraid of success as well. So for God to bless you, you have to let go of that fear. Because the way of God is never the way of fear. I think Hebrews makes that clear. Hebrews or somewhere in the New Testament, I can't remember off the top of my head, that God does not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of discipline and of love as well.